I'm going to go ahead and tell you what my picks are for the 5 most important seasonings for cooking and the 2 most important seasonings for baking. This is my opinion only. Now, why would this information be important to you? Well, you might be living in very cramped quarters and you just do not have a lot of room for a lot of different spices and for a huge variety of stuff that you may not ever use. Or you might be a new cook or just somebody who doesn't cook a lot and you, again, don't want to waste money and space on stuff you're not going to use if you're making the same stuff over and over again, or if you just cook occasionally. You might also be a little pinched financially, and there's so many choices out there. You could really go crazy buying stuff, and since this is cheap and easy cooking, the whole emphasis right now is on cheap and keeping your spice cabinet to a minimum so that you get the most bang for your buck. The 2 most important seasonings, and which are so often overlooked, are the most obvious: salt and pepper. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt can completely change a dish for the better. Now there are many different types of salt, many different types of peppers. You've got your white pepper, your mixed pepper, your green pepper, your black pepper. There's sea salt, there's kosher salt, there's Himalayan salt. You know, you can go to Dollar Tree and just get, 2 little things of table salt and table pepper already ground up. You can get a larger versions. This, I believe, is from Walmart. This is ground black pepper. I got fancy at one point. They were having a sale at Safeway, so I got some sea salt with its own grinder. I will tell you, if you are, again, pinched for finances, then just get the cheapest stuff you can get. It's fine. It'll serve the same purpose. But if you can get a higher end salt and a higher end pepper that you grind yourself, that is fresh and interesting, then that really will elevate the meal even more. But if you can't, don't sweat it. These next 2 seasonings you can get fresh, but not everyone has a place to put fresh seasonings. Not everyone has the need for fresh seasonings. It's just great to have something at your fingertips in case you're cooking one evening and you need these seasonings and you just don't have them on hand. And I'm talking about onion powder and I'm talking about garlic powder. These are awesome. Don't knock them. They're great. Onion and garlic are like global seasonings. You add a little bit to what you're making and suddenly everything gets better, and you don't have to worry about having fresh garlic or fresh onions if you don't have a refrigerator or don't have enough room in your refrigerator, or however that goes. These are great substitutes and great things to have on your shelf. My final seasoning recommendation are what I call seasoning aggregators, and that is all-purpose seasonings you can use on anything. So from Dollar Tree, this is Badilla Complete. It's a seasoning blend, and you can, they did all the work for you insofar as putting seasonings together. A couple more of them are, I got this from Trader Joe's, Everything But the Leftovers. This is from Walmart, all-purpose Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. This is a little saltier and a little spicier than the others, but people use them on everything and it can give you a nice little kick. This also makes great pizza sauce if you put it in tomato sauce. You just get one of those little containers of tomato sauce and you add this instant pizza sauce. I use seasoning salt on everything. It has paprika. It's excellent on chicken, on all sorts of stuff. Again, this is an aggregator, an excellent aggregator. And finally, I got this from Imperfect Foods. Seasonings for all the things. So I haven't used all of these. I haven't opened the Trader Joe's ones or the Imperfect Food ones, but I've used the other ones. You don't need all of them. You can pick one that you like. Start with something inexpensive and see what you do with it. But what I use them for, again, I use that Cavender's to wake up tomato sauce. I've used the other ones. I have some oil and vinegar, just some olive oil. I'll put some of that seasoning aggregator in there to immediately make a salad dressing, add it to mayonnaise, put it on potatoes, put it on pasta with some olive oil, put it on vegetables, put it on chicken. I mean, they've done all the work for you. Why wouldn't you want to use it? When I was last at Dollar Tree, I saw they had sort of a new thing going there, and that is little tiny packages of seasoning. Now this Old Bay, I've always wanted to get Old Bay, but I haven't wanted to commit to a huge container of it. And actually one of my viewers told me she uses Old Bay as a spice aggregator. Also, she uses it on everything, cream cheese and everything. So $1.25, you can try out some seasoning. At that point I was there, they had, I think, some barbecue seasonings and a couple other seasonings there, but hopefully they will expand this, because this is, again, a great way to get seasonings into your house at an inexpensive price, and they do not take up a lot of room. As time goes by, you might find yourself cooking a lot more of one thing than the other, and you might want different seasonings, and you might want more of those particular seasonings. Case in point, I really like tacos. So, you know, I've done a pretty good job of getting through this, and I'm going to continue to do so. So that's just my choice. You can get this too, a taco seasoning in envelopes. I think I've seen it at Trader Joe's and other places, and many seasonings you can get in envelopes in addition to what I just showed you from Dollar Tree. The two seasonings I recommend for baking, whether you're baking from scratch or doctoring items up, are vanilla. This is imitation vanilla. You know, you could get real vanilla, but it's very expensive, so this is good enough, at least for me. And cinnamon. Cinnamon can do an awful lot, and so can vanilla. If you have a banana bread recipe, it's a little bland, add some cinnamon. Zucchini bread that's a little bland, add some cinnamon. You have some you know, they have that Dollar Tree canned apple pie filling. It needs some excitement sometimes. Add some cinnamon, add some vanilla. You'll see miracles. If you want to up the ante a little bit with the baking, then pumpkin pie spice. It's not just for pumpkin pie. Again, I've used it in oatmeal cookies and all sorts of breads and pies. It's a combination of several items, as well as cinnamon, and it's really good. It's not necessary, but if you have a little room, an extra $1.25 from Dollar Tree or whatever, I recommend having pumpkin pie spice as well. So those are my picks based on what I do, how I cook, how I live. I tend to run towards those type of seasonings the most frequently. I'm curious as to what you find to be the most important in your spice, herb, seasoning collection. I think it all is very, very individual. So hopefully this will be helpful to you in some way, shape, or form, and thank you so much for watching.